President Bola Tinubu and French President Emmanuel Macron formalized a partnership on critical infrastructure development and agricultural sustainability by signing two agreements in Paris on Thursday. During the visit, the United Bank of Africa (UBA) announced its plans to commence full banking operations in France. UBA Group Chairman Tony Elumelu signed the agreements with French Minister of Economy, Finance and Industry, Antoine Armand, in a ceremony highlighting the French government's support for UBA's expansion into the European market. Elumelu emphasized that this move strengthens UBA's mission to provide seamless international banking services across Africa and Europe. Additionally, Zenith Bank launched its operations in France as part of its economic collaboration. The agreements were signed at an economic forum attended by business leaders and government officials from both nations at the Palais des Élysées. The letters of intent outline commitments from both countries to collaborate in various sectors, including healthcare, transportation, renewable energy, and human capital development, with a financial backing of over £300 million distributed across Nigeria's geopolitical zones. The Nigerian Minister of Finance, Wale Edu, and the French Development Agency, AFD, CEO Remy Rieux, also signed an agreement to support Nigeria's renewed hope agenda aimed at economic stimulation through sustainable projects. The AFD reaffirmed its dedication to long-term support for Nigeria's energy access, sustainable agriculture and food security initiatives, emphasizing the importance of efficient project implementation. All right, Mr. Greatman, here is the development on the outing with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the French Minister Emmanuel Macron. I'd like to get your thoughts on this.
The French President Emmanuel Macron.
Yes, Vice President.
President.
French President, yes.
So the French President Emmanuel Macron and the Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the government of Nigeria paid a working visit to the government of France to facilitate and promote bilateral trade and ties and all of those partnerships. And we find the background stories of the UBA group setting up their expansion plan in France, and of course the Zenith group also taking center stage in also in the process of expanding to France as well.
Exactly.
These are all laudable developments, and we are happy for them. We're happy for them. That's not a problem. But when we say funding is being released, 300 million naira, 300 million pounds. That should be euros, because I think they use euros. So 300 million euros released to the Nigerian government to be distributed across the 6 geopolitical zones. We don't need to just hear about monies being released based on partnerships. We need to begin to hear what these monies are doing. And for the very fact that we feel that we must always run abroad to discuss the Nigerian problem, is where I have issues with. I have issues with how many French banks are coming to Nigeria to establish or expand. How many French companies, or when is the French government going to ever come to Nigeria on a working visit? Are we always going to be the ones running after funds and chasing after funds when we have a very robust economy that has the capacity to outdo all of these foreign governments and economies? For me, it is very pathetic to always see that we are running after and celebrating all of these funds when we know that we have a lot of resources in this country that has the capacity to generate the financial resources to take care of Nigeria. We have what it takes to run this country. We always go to France, we always go to China to go and discuss the Nigeria. What peculiar solution are you going to get by going abroad? What peculiar solution are you going to get? Because at the end of the day, you call a Frenchman, or let me say you call a foreigner. Let it not look like I'm taking it out on the French people. You call a foreigner and say you are a foreigner. Can you provide solutions to the Nigerian problems? How does he provide solutions to the Nigerian problems when he doesn't understand the context of our problems? The context. He is not a local. He doesn't know what it means to be in Nigeria. He doesn't understand what it means to be a Nigerian. How can you provide solution when you are not part of the system? How do you think we can get solutions to our problems abroad? The solutions to our problems lies in this country. Sit down and call us to the table. Let everybody sit at the round table and talk. We have the solution to Nigeria. Is it technology? We have the technological advancements coming up here. You are suppressing them by not believing in the local content that we have. We have a lot of young people doing things here. Is it whatever sector? Just mention whatever sector. You find it that people are doing something right here in this country that can affect positively any sector of the Nigerian economy. But you do not believe in local content. You wake up in the morning, you jet with a lot of ministers. You know how much it costs to fly everybody down there for a meeting, and then at the end of the day, it is still the scarce and the meager resources that you claim we have that you are exhausting and expending. I feel the Nigerian government should sit down here in Nigeria and solve her problems. The solution to Nigeria is not outside Nigeria. It is right here in Nigeria. If we want to solve the problems of Nigeria, we'll solve it right here.
Well, the letter of intent also outlined the impact it's going to have on common Nigerians. It includes sectors like healthcare, we have transportation, we have renewable energy, and human capital development, aside from seamless banking. So this, partnership is going to, Nigerians who benefit from it in sectors like healthcare, transportation, renewable energy, and so on. Don't you think that...
I disagree with that. I disagree with that, because how is it going to cascade down to the basic people down there? Look, let me tell you something. I do not believe that Nigerian healthcare can work until the Nigerian government officials begin to take treatment in the hospitals they built.
Well, maybe this development will help them, will help to improve more of the hospital facilities so that they can take treatment here in Nigeria. Don't you think so?
I'm looking at this from a pessimistic point of view.
Okay.
Even though I'm very, very optimistic about things, but I'm looking at this from a very pessimistic point of view because of the narrative that we have. We've had a narrative, we've had patterns from the Nigerian government. Just before this new administration got into 1 year of office, a lot of money was put into. In fact, let's go back a bit to the Buhari administration. The Buhari administration spent a lot of money rehabilitating the State House Hospital. When the new government of President Bola and Tinubu came into power, they also went ahead to invest a lot in the hospital. But when the treatment for the president is to be given, the president administered treatment abroad. The president goes abroad for treatment. His officials go abroad for treatment. If you cannot have faith in the system that you have built, then how can it work? I don't believe in all these frivolities and all these side statements that are being made that we just jump into the jet, we go abroad and come back, and you think you want to confuse the Nigerian people by telling them it's going to cascade down to every sector. It is impossible for me to believe that at this point in time. Like I said, the solution to Nigeria is in Nigeria. Sit down, use Nigerian people's money for Nigerian people.
But here is the French donating money, 300 million euros to Nigeria. So it's not Nigerian money. This is them, given out to Nigeria.
Nigeria has much more than that. Nigeria does not need that 300 million naira euros donation. We don't need it. Nigeria has more money than that. The money in this country is much more.
But there's nothing bad seeking aid.
There is nothing wrong with free money, I agree. There's nothing wrong with free money. But the solution to Nigeria's problem is in Nigeria. Why don't you call if you want to bring in the foreign expertise, why don't you call them into Nigeria? Let me tell you, sir. If you look at the trip that the president has made, He has flown out of this country with his wife, with several governors, with several ministers, with a plethora of aides, special advisor, SA, PA, QA, MA, whatever A's and A's. He has gone on a lighter mode. He has traveled out with all of them. If they tell you how much that trip costs, you will shake your head. You will shake your head. That's why I said, sit down in Nigeria. When President Mandela was alive, he took treatment in Pretoria. He was never flying abroad. Go to South Africa. Go and check the population of South Africans that travel abroad and the population of Nigerians that travel abroad. You can't compare it. Because the system is building itself in a way that it is beneficial to the people. So why travel?